Hold up. This isn't some cheesy kid show. This is Kids in the Tank, a young perspective on business from high school students.
Hi, welcome to Kids in the Tank. I'm Margaret, and with me in the tank are Gwen, Devontae, and Kendall. Today we are honored to have Pete Blank in the studio with us. He's a professional speaker who is adding Disney magic to business everywhere. You are officially in the hot seat.
Awesome.
To kick off the podcast, we would like to ask you, who is your favorite Disney character and why?
I guess my favorite Disney character is Goofy for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm tall like him, and I like to have fun like him. Mm-hmm. But number two, working at Disney for quite a few years, you do get a chance to become friends with characters if you sort of know what that means. And so once or twice in my Disney career, I was friends with Goofy, and that was a fantastic experience. So,
can you do the Goofy laugh?
Oh, please.
Oh my God. Okay.
I actually do a much better Mickey Mouse. So hang on a second. Let's see if I can do this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ha-ha! Thanks for having me on the podcast, guys.
That's so scary.
Ooh, thank
it's not
you so
bad.
much.
You're welcome.
So then, I noticed on one of your Twitter blogs, you asked if anybody has an Instagram-worthy workplace. I wanted to know, what do you define as, what makes an Instagram-worthy workplace?
Well, for example, what I'm seeing these days is it's not just about the experience of going to a restaurant or going to a theme park or going to a movie. You have to always take a picture and say, look where I was, look what I experienced. So, for example, at Disney, there's all kinds of great places to get your picture taken, but I found that a lot of younger people between the ages of probably high school up maybe through college have found a couple of walls that they like to take their picture in front of. So even though there's great things you can see at Disney World and great backdrops, the fact that there's some cool walls that are painted a cool color makes it Instagram worthy. And that's not because Disney said so. That's because the culture has decided this is what's going to be cool. So I think it's important for any organization, if you're involved in customer service, to have some place where the customers can take a selfie or take a picture afterwards and say, hey, we were here. And that's just instant marketing for your organization. So I think it's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Kendall, and I have another question for you. Were you shy in high school and eased out of it, or would you say you were born a leader? And if so, why?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking, Kendall. It's I was shy in high school, and it was mainly because I wasn't athletic, I wasn't a jock, and I was involved in theater a lot. And I think theater helped to get me out of it. Theater gave me an outlet where it's okay to be funny, it's okay to make fun of yourself, it's okay to be self-deprecating, because that's what part of breaking down the fourth wall of the theater is all about. As far as being a leader goes, sometimes I don't always consider myself a leader. I just try to do the best that I possibly can every day to kind of inspire people. And if that's sort of defines leadership, then I guess I kind of fall into that. But I just strive to be a good person as opposed to being a leader, and hopefully some of those leadership traits come out in that.
So you said you really like being a good person. How did your attitude change from working in with the sportscasting industry then to moving on to Disney?
Yeah, very interesting. I really enjoyed sportscasting. I really enjoyed being on television. And I think what the common thread that I sort of weave through everything is I like to have a positive impact on people. So when you're doing sportscasting on TV, you're having a positive impact because you are telling people, and again, this is back before the internet, so you had to watch the local news to get all the highlights and to get all the scores and everything. So I like being the person who could share that and make people's nights good because they finally got to hear the score of the game they didn't know. And then when I got to Disney, most people who come to Disney want to have a good time and are in a good mood. So I got to help encourage that and sort of make them feel good about their vacation choice. So part of a common thread is just, if you really want to make people happy, you can do it no matter what your career field is.
Would you ever be on Undercover Boss and see how it feels to be led by you? And if so, why?
That's a very, very good question. First of all, neat show. Love Undercover Boss. And I would want to be part of it because I firmly believe that you have to get constructive feedback to become better. You got to get positive feedback and constructive feedback. So sometimes we go through life with a lens that we think we see the world the same way everybody else sees it. So I think I'm telling people good job every day, and I think I'm being nice to everybody, and I think I'm giving good eye contact and good body language to customers. But when that lens gets shifted and somebody else records you or watches you and tells you how you're doing, you get a whole nother way of looking at it. So absolutely, I would definitely think that'd be a great way to learn about yourself and make yourself better.
Well, thank you for answering our questions. We will now be moving to our next segment, Flip It, where you will be asking us the questions.
Okay, let's do it.
So now that we're in the hot seat, do you have any questions for us?
Oh, yeah, okay, now. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
Thank you.
okay. 5 minutes.
Very good. All right. Each of you, in 5 words or less, tell me what makes you get up every day. Don't say alarm clock. What motivates you every day?
Okay, so I'm Margaret. My motivation would probably have to be my responsibility in my family. Like,
Okay.
that might be too many words. But, like,
No, perfect.
yeah. I'm, like, the oldest sister, so I have to be taking everybody to their job, getting ready in the morning, like, putting the clothes in the laundry. Like, that's me. Like, I'm the maid, pretty much, but that's me. I'm, like, parent number 2.
Perfect. Good. Who else?
Okay, so I'll go next. So I'm Devante, and I'm pretty independent because I'm about to go to college. So when I wake up every day, I wake up because I am joyful, plus I need to, which isn't 5, that's 6. Oh, darn.
That's okay. What do you mean when you say I need to?
I need to wake up. I need to progress. I need to get farther in my career path. I need to enjoy what I'm doing. Like, I'm already happy that I'm waking up. I'm like, yay, another day. So,
Yeah.
like, when I need to, it's the next step.
Perfect. Love it. Who else?
I'm Gwen, and I get up every morning to run and to make myself better in, that's over 5, but
That's okay.
to strive to get better in cross country.
Awesome. Cross country. Good for you, man.
I'm Kendall, and I guess with mine every day is just like make the day as best as I can. So just like have a positive outlook on the day and try to be as happy as I can be. So.
Awesome. Very good. All right. And how many questions do I get to ask you all?
I guess as many as you want.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What time is your curfew?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm an adult now. I don't have a curfew.
It's summer, so we're going all night.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. What do you like best about being in this program that you're in, about being a Kids in the Tank? What do you like best about it?
Okay, so my favorite thing about BizTank is the podcast because normally I'm like really shy and kind of dorky too. So
Good.
I'm always like kind of like a by myself person. But when we get into the tank, I'm able to like show my personality and like connect with others that are in the room.
Love it. Awesome answer.
Great.
I guess mine is just like seeing all the different people speak each week. Like I really don't know what I want to do with my life or like as a career yet. So seeing all of the different jobs that are out there that you didn't even know were out there is really interesting to me, so I can decide like what I want to do when I'm older.
Excellent answer. Good.
I really enjoy listening to everybody's stories each week because I feel like you can learn so much through the stories, because when people just tell you something, it doesn't make as much sense as when they have that story that goes along with it.
You're 100% correct. You can work at Disney. Excellent. Storyteller.
So then, I absolutely love BizTank. I think it's like really cool when we do the round table and we do the Kids in the Tank. It's a lot of fun, but I love making connections with every speaker because then I link in with them. I get to know more about them and their business and what they do. And then they see me, and like when I'm a teacher one day, I can be like, hey, look at this. This guy follows me.
Yes. Yeah, and I forgot to tell y'all need to follow or connect with me on LinkedIn. I forgot to mention that tonight, so make sure you tell all your peers.
Guys,
I'm sure
I did
Jeff's
it
already told
yesterday.
y'all
I did it today.
to do that. Okay, good. All right, so I guess last question for you, since y'all are kind of in the hot seat. Okay, so this is kind of all right. That is going to be controversial, so get ready for this. What are you most concerned about as you enter this next phase of your life, living in America or living in this country? Or what are you most concerned about? Are you most concerned about having a job? Are you most concerned about the state of where we're going? Are you concerned about the economy? Do you have any concerns moving forward?
Okay, so I'm really like, before I started, I'm going into college next year, and
Okay.
I'm majoring in like environmental science and marine biology. And
Okay.
before like taking AP environmental, I was like who really cares about the environment? Like, okay, I guess like plastic doesn't really like disappear. But after like getting more into the classes and seeing like the world around me, I've noticed that like what we do every day has a big impact on
Yep.
nature and like the animals and the environment. So like I want to be like concerned, like my job, like my dream job is to like help animals and go into like the coral reef in like Australia and stuff like that. So what my concern is like, is it not going to be there when I'm finally old enough and able to like work there and research there and like help the animals?
Yes, neat thought and very relevant concern. Good. Love that one. What else?
Okay.
What are the rest of you concerned about?
Well, I'm going to be a teacher in public education for business and marketing and like secondary education, so I'll be a high school business teacher.
Perfect.
I'm not concerned with a lot because I know that I have openings for my job and like I'll get in because
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with that stuff.
Yes.
But if I had to be concerned with one thing about that, it'd probably just be where the direction of public schools going
Yep.
and how I'm going to adapt with that and all the new technology that's being incorporated.
Great one. Yeah, schools are going to change. You know, I mean, you often hear people talk about. I was talking to my dad this morning on the way to work, and we were talking about summer vacation, how it's gotten shorter. And he was telling me that back in his day, the reason summer vacation was so long is because there was no air conditioning in the schools, so nobody could study, and people would lose, so they had long summers. So that's why they had long summers. And so this whole idea of, well, should we be on year-round school? Should we be on half days, full days? You know, should we flip the classroom? Reverse? There could be a lot of cool changes coming up in education. And so that can be a sort of a challenge for you as, are you going to be ready for all these new ways of learning? So good one. Love it. Love it. Who else? Two more.
I plan to go into something with biological sciences, and
Okay.
I think that as our scientific discoveries continue to advance, I think that I'd be most concerned about is us continuing to use it responsibly and just make sure we're doing stuff that's correct for the environment, correct for the next generations, and that'd be my concern for the future.
I like that. Where do you stand on cloning people? I'm just kidding. Okay, go ahead.
So scared.
All right, one more. Who's left? Who hasn't gone?
I guess I'm the last one, but I'm thinking about going into something in healthcare. So I guess one of my major concerns, like going forward in the future, is just healthcare and like making sure that everyone gets the care that they need. Like you talked about earlier, there's a lot of homeless people out there, and just everyone gets like the equal care. So that's my major concern.
Hey, good point. When you talk about healthcare and homelessness and Medicare and Medicaid and my wife works for a large hospital here in the marketing and PR side, and it's a major concern of how are people going to get paid and insurance costs and doctors costs and all these things. So, yeah, these concerns aren't things that should change anything about the way that you go through life, but you also don't want to go through with rose-colored glasses and think everything's hunky-dory. So you always want to try and be improving. So good answers. Well, I want to thank my guests today. I appreciate you. Oh, I'm sorry. That's probably y'all's job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pete, thank you so much for joining us on the phone. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you all, and best of luck to you all moving forward. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.